So tomorrow, how's it gonna play out?
We're going to, let's see, tomorrow, we come in here, push the button. We have a big plastic button in the middle of the room. We all push it at the same time, put our hands in, and then push it. We totally should have that. That'd be much more dramatic than like Greg sitting at his desk and Chris, and then they tap, and then they're like, okay, it's off. But that's the way it's gonna go.
There's so much animation that needs to be polished still.
Well, there's a lot that's done, but it's just not in. It's somewhat slow going, but.
Okay. Does anyone want to say anything about the schedule? Like how easy it looks?
But yeah, there's a lot to do, and 2 months left.
Where's the warmest spot in this
Me?
office?
Oh, yeah, just snuggle up to me. Sweater and thick
Wow,
fur.
it's so warm in there. Look at you like a longshoreman.
It was so cold yesterday.
You're like a lumberjack by the sea. I just need to be by Anna's heater.
Hey,
Is this thing even on?
No, it's not on. You want it on? Here.
jeez.
Gather around the fire, everybody.
Hey.
We should have a little fire.
Okay, hello, is everyone here? We'll have them quick. Okay, anyway, hey everybody, what are you doing? Mr. Petty, what have you been working on?
What we're doing up until for the next couple of weeks is getting all the new content in, which I think in art, there's very little new content. It's mainly us repainting and polishing and refining.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire, but it's going good. Working on little fixie things that were painted really crappily and are now having the time to polish up.
Bagel's right here.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm fixing. I'm fixing the things that Bagel's fixing right now. We're just getting down to the point where, what? Oh, look at that! That's crazy. Didn't I just do that?
Yeah.
He's so fast, man. You have the rim light working on him? Man, maybe I'm just slow.
In some cases, we're repainting characters because now that we see like the range of what they did, like we repainted Mog Choth, or Levi did for like the third time. And part of that is because his presence in the game was much bigger than when we originally painted him. And the type of stuff he needs to do for like the boss battle or for these other areas is a greater range of movement, and there's a lot more close-ups and has various mouth states. So the best thing to do is like sometimes you can keep patching an asset, but sometimes it's best to go wipe that clean. We know exactly how it's going to be used now, just repaint it, which is pretty much what we did, and it'll pay off because he has a lot of screen time.
Yeah, we're not as pressed as the animators. We kind of just listen to them working their ass off over there while we kind of just pretty things up.
Today I'm trying to get this scene in because it's such a big one. It's going to be a series of like 4 different cutscenes that we put together in the game, and like none of those are in the game right now, and it's like really close to shipping, so it's like this last bit of time, just like every other department, we're all kind of just like rushing through everything.
The animation, like overall, like animation just has more work, but a lot of times my time is compressed into like the last like couple of weeks that I can do work because I come after everyone else, and like I guess right before audio.
I'm finishing all the sound in 2 weeks.
Yay!
I'm basically following the animators as closely as possible because I'm trying to jump on all the cutscenes as they come in and like do them.
Barry's like, good luck because we're so fast.
Yeah. I'm trying to save January 6th through 10 to mix the game. I'd really, really like to have that time to do that. So I'm trying to get in as much as possible in the next 2 weeks.
Like even Candid and I had a lunch where we were kind of talking about like, oh, okay, we're here at this stage now where everything's supposed to be wrapping up. Like, what do we do? Like, what's the social fix for it? And like part of me is like, oh, you know, like I'm just gonna be really like irritable all the time and just like be really kind of hard to like work with. So like if people want to make changes, they'll be like, oh my God, we want to like piss her off even more or something. Like there's like some of that, like there's like you kind of have to be a little bit of a wall. Otherwise, like just so people, not necessarily to like stop changes, but just so people like kind of think twice or like maybe think smarter when they want to polish something.
So it's a little tight. This means more late night food for free for Ray. See, so it's really saving Ray money because he's gonna have to stay late to animate all this stuff. I should not have had food for lunch. You insensitive bastards.
And this is just a bunch of
I'm
rice.
just looking at it.
See, this is the size.
Those are.
I've been doing a lot of press stuff. We went down and showed the game at the VGX Awards. Did you guys watch? It was fun. I got a lot of love on Twitter from that. And a lot of people who hadn't heard of the game before, which is crazy because I always assume the entire world knows all about the game. But I got this like, what is this game? This looks kind of cool. This is awesome.
This is really exciting because this is a guy I've loved for so long, and we now have him live on the VGX stage. Not just you, Joel, but Tim Schafer is with us.
Tim Schafer.
Tim is, of course, the creative genius behind Brutal Legends, Psychonauts, and Grim Fandango, and his latest is the Kickstarter-funded adventure game Broken Age, which raised over $3 million
$3.5
from
million,
fans.
Jeff.
Thank you.
He's funny. He's nice. He's nice to me off camera. He's like, hey, get ready for this. I'm going to ask you if you were high when you designed this game.
At Brandon Victorin asks, hey, Tim, what was the inspiration for the project?
Well,
Did you get high or something?
no.
Sorry.
It's been getting really tangible how excited people are to play it. Like it's been very visible and you can really feel it. So it's very, very exciting. Like we have a big list of stuff to do to get the game out. Greg is obviously driving that stuff. So it's going to be pretty crazy few weeks. But I think our community is going to be incredibly enthusiastic, is going to and really help us get the word out. So it's really good times.
I think that there's going to be a lot of excitement. I think we've been doing some bigger things like the VGX and stuff that's been building up, hype. And I think that ultimately, the people who are going to care the most about the game are the 90,000 that already bought it, and they're going to be super stoked playing it. So I feel like there's going to be a huge ripple effect from them, of them just sharing their excitement. And I think that that'll just be something that we should try and capitalize on as much as possible.
The big splash, is what you're thinking?
Yeah, well, I just think that, they've been waiting 15 years for this game. And
There's the counterpoint, just so you know, which is that that all the adventure fans are really interested in this, and it's a very small market, and that's why most publishers got out of it.
Yeah, I know.
That those fans have basically already backed the game.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to prove wrong, right?
You're going to prove that wrong, okay.
Everyone wants this game.
But it still could be somewhere between, right? Where the genre is, say, 500,000 people.
Yeah, and I think that's where the quality of the game is going to be what ultimately makes a call. Like, I think if it comes out and reviews really well and people have a really great experience and are talking about it, I think the game will be able to kind of live on through really solid sales. If it has kind of average scores, then it probably will be a different story.
Broken Age is a welcome return to the graphic adventure games by Tim Schafer. See, I can't read this, it's got my name in it. We hired some old friends of ours who were game reviewers in the previous life and asked them to write a review of Broken Age as if they were actually just got a copy and were reviewing it, to know, is there some big thing we have overlooked, or what might a review look like for the game? And they came back really good. Positives: an intuitive point-and-click interface, good balance between exploration, character interaction, and puzzle solving. Game recognizes when players are stuck and provides clues without giving them answers. Negatives: I missed the inventory command in the opening with Shay and the spoon. In the gaming industry, mock reviews are a common thing. We have never done our own, so that's a good thing. It's like part of what we're trying to do is being a real self-publisher. Being a real publisher is taking care of these things, which are like mock reviews, because they affect how much or how you plan your launch. Like it would plan if we got really if the mock reviews were like, it's kind of rough, but they'll probably have it sorted out by the time they launch Act 2, we might think that would maybe be more inclined to put it in the early access section of Steam, But if it came back, it's super polished and it's great, it's like a first episode of something, then that means it really should be in the other section of Steam with the regular games.
Did you do this for Psychonauts? Oh, you didn't do the mock reviews.
No, I mean, Microsoft did playtests for Psychonauts, and people were like, it got funativity ratings or whatever. And, oh God, is that what this is? Here's the marketing document that Microsoft made for Psychonauts. Based on the 12 focus groups conducted worldwide, the primary weakness of the game are the storyline, which is considered unoriginal, childish, and overly complex. Tongue-in-cheek nature of the game is a weakness. Most simply did not get the joke. Others dislike the satirical humor. In addition, many feel the humor would get old, limiting replayability. Humor should be incorporated into the game as a secondary or supporting characteristic. Humor should be simplified and made immediately apparent. To help international appeal, limit game components that feel especially Americanized, i.e. summer camp. Thank you, marketing research. Yeah, limit. So you can obviously take this stuff too far. I mean, good God. Thank God we got canceled. Anyway, that's not what we're doing this time. This time we just sent it to 3 reviewers that we knew and asked them to write reviews just as if they're writing actual reviews. Be as mean as you would have been. If you've ever loved a Tim Schafer game, if you've ever loved whimsy, you will love this game. I'm glad to see the return of the genre and the return of a legend. See why I can't read these? That's just embarrassing. But it's good. Yeah, there's no like it was always problematic near the end of Brutal to hear the recurring stuff about the RTS stuff, because that's really hard to like, what are we gonna do? Like, what the crap, what are we gonna do? And EA was like, we're just gonna, it's good, we're gonna ship it how it is. But here, there's nothing about the quality of the game. It's more about we have to hit the pricing right, and we have to make sure the puzzles are hard enough, especially in the second act. As pricing will directly affect the overall Metacritic score, breakdown of price to Metacritic score have been included. See page 8. For the purpose of the summary, we'll assume a $15 and $20 price point. Oh, I don't think that's what Justin's assuming. I think if we charge $15, we'll get an 80 to 85 Metacritic. If we charge $20, we'll get a 79 to 80% Metacritic. Charge 25 to 30, we'll get a 70 to 60% Metacritic. Interesting. That's just him saying, I mean, reviewers, I guess, take into account how much a game costs when they give it a score. So if it would cost $60, you know, like Geometry Wars, if that costs $60, you might give it a lower score than if it costs $15.
What are you guys charging for?
We don't know yet. That's the whole discussion.
I know it's happening. I just kind of disagree that reviewers should take in price into consideration when making.
Yeah, well, especially now since price fluctuates so much, and since things go on sale so often and prices change and go down, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, and so I saw when I did my research, like it showed that indie games can be anywhere from like $2.99 to about $29.99 as like the acceptable pricing. Mm-hmm. There was one for $34.99, it was the Monkey Island one that came out that Telltale did.
Oh, the Telltale Tales of Monkey Island, yeah.
But I'm going to treat that as an outlier and just be like, okay. The idea would be on release, you would pay $24.99 and then you get both acts, Act 1 and Act 2. It is a small genre, and those games used to sell, like the Grim Fandangos and Full Throttles and stuff, used to sell like 500,000 copies. Or the hundreds of thousands of where there were. And that's one of the reasons why if you can't sell millions upon millions now, games are considered failures. The good thing about us is since we're publishing it ourselves, and it's digital distribution, and we can handle almost all aspects of the publishing. So for us, it actually doesn't have to make a huge amount of money. And 500,000 copies, if it sells 500,000 copies, will be enormously successful as a studio. That will supply like all the funds we need to be completely independent. Anyway, that's exciting. So cool, man.
Yeah, it's coming.
No, it's actually awesome. Nice because when these decisions are made, you're just like committed to them, and then you just kind of sit back and I don't know.
Watch things happen.
Yeah, can you imagine what would it be like if we sold like blockbuster numbers for a publisher? God, that'd be crazy. Yeah, don't know.
Best not to get your hopes up.
No, it's basically a studio's dream, which is to continue to operate independently. But like this is the awesome thing about this time frame is that there's not a lot being featured on Steam. So we could potentially, best case scenario, like Max Payne I think got this. They got a month of a feature, basically. We could get that from the 28th all the way through February.
That would be ideal.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You're okay with that rather than, because I would love $5 more and everything, but I didn't want I just don't want the game to be.
I feel like you guys have talked it through enough, and I was nervous about it coming out at 30, and the mock reviews wanted it to be 20, so I think.
Split difference.
Is this a bad time to propose not splitting the game? Have you considered that lately? I wouldn't have to think about any of this stuff for a while.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
No, I'm excited about showing it. I'm excited about it.
I think this is actually going to probably be, I think it will result in a better showing than if you had kept it all together. I think
We definitely got more people talking about the game.
Yes. But it's like the more opportunities you actually have to sell, actually potentially better.
Sell each puzzle.
Yeah.
I don't like this puzzle. I'd like to return this puzzle.
Microtransactions to adventure games. Let's do it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, now we get the fun start about the build lockdown and timelines for all the stuff that needs to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So when is the build, like when are we done touching it?
Yeah, that's a question that I would like to involve other people in, like Oliver.
So, yeah, what is happening at this point? Bug
A lot is happening. Yeah, we kind of just switched into, I guess, what's often called filing mode. So a lot of, we're basically going away from working on tasks and more towards fixing issues in a game, just so that we can basically get a stable version that can be released eventually.
Oh. That's a crash. Yeah, you can press space to skip the cutscenes. So in this particular case, you just skip the cutscene and crash. Yeah, we've skipped that cutscene, I want to say thousands of times, collectively. And now it decides to crash for some reason. That's really how most bugs are found. You're not trying to do something and it happens. What I've learned is that the nature of the adventure game is that everything is very handcrafted, right? You want to control every step of the way because it's all story driven. And because of that, you have so many little points where there's a bad graphic or the audio's off or characters look weird doing a particular action. And because they want a very specific type of sort of experience, like to look a certain way, sound a certain way, you just end up with a lot of little bugs in between all the big functional stuff. So functionally, I mean, it's not too complex, point and click. I'd say our save load system is probably the most complicated because save load is always complicated anyway. And at this point, it's just polish. Little graphics things, animation, there's a lot of missing audio, stuff like that. So this is the Broken Age database. This is the list of all bugs. This particular issue is going to be for Oliver, which means it's a system bug. And that's it. Once you have all the detail, the title, the steps, any attachments, if you need them, in this case we don't, submit the bug, and off it goes.
The QA team is very, very good at describing exactly how they got to this. And they even say sometimes, oh, doesn't happen all the time. So there's a problem in this particular scene where the characters occasionally will you see them jitter. See how there's kind of like jitters. So, okay, so the first thing I do, I will actually look at the scene and try to see the problem like this. Like, oh yeah, obviously there's something going on. Then we have certain tools in the game that we can use to kind of just trying to figure out what's happening. Mm-hmm. I can actually pause the game in our debugger that we wrote for the game, and then I'm gonna, basically step through frame by frame in this particular case, and then I very often will just look at, okay, so first of all, do those numbers line up because the camera animation has to be at the exact same frame than the characters, and I already see this is at a frame 732, and this is at a frame 734, so weird, why is this happening? And then I basically will have to go into Visual Studio where a lot of the code is for the game, like the animation control. A lot of what I do is actually just understanding what is going on. That takes 95% of the time. Once you know what's going on, very often the fix is pretty easy, but since there's so much code and so many things going on at the same time, the understanding what is actually happening is usually the way, way, way more difficult part than actually implementing a fix for it. But yeah, I mean, that's in a nutshell, what's going on.
And then on our end, I just try to get through the tasks. We have a lot of bug regressions right now, just because they're fixing quicker than we can check them to verify that they're fixed. So we always have just a backlog of bugs we need to get through on that end, and new bugs, like I said, don't stop. So at this point, you can't afford to ignore any bug. So you see it, you report it. Yeah, every time you hear a little groan or something coming from that end, that's probably every new bug.
I think animation is winning the bug count right now, and they probably will be until the end. So a lot of it is just animation polish and stuff like that. I think they probably have like twice as many bugs as any of the other like departments.
Yeah, I mean, this is all animation bugs.
Yeah.
So it's something like 130. Essentially right now, the red ones are unfinished cutscenes. And so that's what we're striving to do by tomorrow. They're set by priority, and it doesn't show it here, but there's Pri 1s, Pri 2s, down to 4, I think. 4 being like, they would be nice to have, but not essential, and 3 is like, we should fix it, otherwise it'll look crappy, and 2 being, it is gonna look really bad and unfinished if we don't do this, and 1 being a breaker, like it actually just breaks the game.
When you get into bug fixing phase, a lot of time animators will be like, oh, I want to, like this is the animation that we should be polishing, but instead I'm polishing this animation because this is reported as a bug. Stuff that I'm like, that should be fixed and that should be fixed. Nobody cares. Like, I'm like it's like high fantasy. Like, I'm really into it, but like not everybody else is.
What I'm really trying to do is not get freaked out about things right now because the holidays are coming up and I just want to relax and like rebuild my energy and then come back strong. We could be panicking right now and we probably should be panicking, but I'm not going to do that. I'm zen right now. I'm just gonna turn off, and then when I come back on the 2nd, it'll be time to freak out for me.
Again, I think the problem is to some degree it feels like the release date is far away, but it's really not, because it's like, oh, it's next year, right? That's, once you say, we're going to release the game next year, it feels like, oh, it's so far away, we don't really need to worry about it too much. But I think in terms of working weeks that we have until the game ships, it's like 2 or 2.5. So there's really not that much time, and given the amount of issues that are being reported, it's somewhat scary for sure. So yeah, it's like a lot of people do tend to work, late hours now and starting now, but then, also understandably people leave for Christmas break and stuff like that, and so it's kind of a weird kind of thing going on.
We all say something, or we just say?
Yeah, we're all gonna say it. I'll just say it.
What are we saying?
Whatever we want.
Happy holidays, I think
Tim
we say.
needs
That's
to
what the
say
Christmas
something
card says.
first.
Well, I am going to say something first.
And then we'll all say happy holidays.
This is all going in now.
Great.
Super planned.
Hello, adventure gamers from everyone on the Broken Age team. We just wanted to say happy holidays. Happy holidays? Happy holidays. Hey, okay, back to work. Finish it.
See you in January.
We had one little portion of the tree showing, so we had 2 little ornaments that we put on. It just, their mind will fill in the rest, right? So we'll be like, they did a great job.
Okay, hello everybody. It's so nice to see you all. Everyone here? Are you ready to go? Hello, happy New Year to you all. This is the first meeting since the New Year began, right? Yep, welcome back. I'm so glad so many of you survived the holidays and driving, and you all decided to come work here for another year. Speaking of that, Bagel's actually been here 13 years. Yep. No clapping. He's not here. Sorry, Bagel, you're not here. Yeah, you can clap. He's actually coming out to visit. Does anyone know when he's coming out to visit?
14th.
He's coming here on
his 14th year.
Broken Age ship day, and he'll be here for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Till the 31st.
Okay, awesome. So then you can clap for him then. Let's talk about Reds for a second, just because it is launching next Tuesday to backers. We are shipping this thing to backers, and then on the 28th, it's going to go out to the regular rest of the world. But yeah, this is exciting. We're all working at a Bugzilla right now. Everyone knows what they're doing pretty much, so why are we having these days? I guess just to cheer everyone up. Hey, you guys, we're going to ship a game.
No, I think we talked about lockdown and stuff like that.
And that.
Yeah. So,
lock it down, people.
Oliver, you want to talk about lockdown?
Sure. Lockdown, let's do it. It's good.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, everybody's still working, and I see like a lot of things still happening this week. However, I am going to get the release Canada branch ready. Basically, I'm going to manually integrate changes into that. Like nothing goes into the branch without me looking at it, make sure that like there are no risky changes going in, and like the amount of risk is going to be reduced over time for sure, just to make sure that the build is as stable as possible. So just like how we did in the past for build days. Like we're basically gonna just try to play through the game, and then individual changes that need to go in for the 14th
You'll
will
have
be
to
manually
talk to
integrated.
Oliver directly, and you'll be making an angry face.
I will make angry.
Show me the face that you have to see if you want to add. Yeah, you'll have to look at that face if you want to add anything to the game after Thursday.
Right now, Linux is driving me insane, but I'm sure we're all good. But other than that, it was pretty stable recently, and I would like to keep it that way for sure.
Okay, great. Any other questions? All right, go check Bugzilla. See you guys later. Hi. Bye. See you guys. Bye. Oh, there you go.
It's going pretty good. We're final stretch for the backer build. So this will be a beta build, so it needs to be not completely bug-free, but mostly. Last night I got home about 1. I get home about 1, and then I couldn't sleep for about 2. I just sat in bed for 2 hours, just like thinking about today and what we had to get done, and it's just like, just stupid. I gotta, see my kids, my wife. So yeah, I have an aunt that's visiting right now. I haven't seen her yet. She's been here for like 4 days, and I literally haven't seen her yet.
We were just talking to Camden, and he has a lot to do.
Yeah, Camden's getting hit probably the worst because cutscenes come in, really late in the game. Yeah, I think Camden has stayed here a couple nights, so.
I'm having to revisit a lot of things. Things get redesigned or they get polished and timing has to move around, which is cool, but there's a lot. This is a hard crunch, but it's more about getting it right. And I've been on other crunches where it wasn't about that. It was about, we got it wrong, and now we have to fix it. I'm just here because I know if Double Fine makes it and really makes this happen, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing company. I mean, it's already good, but we're just like struggling for years. And I think a lot of people here kind of hang on because like they know Tim, they know the management, they know the vision, and if it hits, it'll be really good. It'll be really good. So we're just hanging in.
We are launching Reds tomorrow. Crazy time. All of our backers. Yep. Yes. Thank you to our team for working so hard. We are going to the backers tomorrow, and the rest of the general population, future backers, if you will, on the 28th.
We're about to launch a game. In 8 minutes. I feel like I'm kind of even in the same boat as backers, which is just that this is a really surreal thing that's happening. I don't know, it's been a long time in the making, it's 2 years almost now since we launched the Kickstarter, and yeah, sometimes it just felt like it was never gonna get here, and now it's here, and this is something that really shouldn't exist. Like, it's crazy that this exists and was able to be made this way, and that the game that we made is something that's coming out. I grew up playing Tim's old adventure games young, like in elementary school, and I feel like they were kind of the games that showed me that games could be like an art, or could be something different or something bigger. And the fact that I'm here now, like working on this game and putting this out, is really a dream and the weirdest thing that's ever happened, and the best thing that's ever happened to me. So it's exciting.
Oh God, I gotta call my mom and say happy birthday.
What?
I gotta call my mom and say happy birthday.
Oh yeah, do that.
We're releasing our game today. Yeah, well, it should go out at 10, which is now, so it's going to be out there. And Dad can help you download it. Okay, happy birthday, Mom.
The game is up. Pre-orders are up.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right, next game.
Yeah, we're gonna take everybody out. So there's gonna be team lunch today. Probably drinks later too. I'm going out for drinks, so I hope people will join me. But yeah, we're gonna take everybody out for lunch and thank them for all the hard work and just take a nice breather before diving back into Act 2.
So thanks everybody for sticking with us. And cheers, have a lunch day to all of you. Cheers. Cheers to Brendan. Okay, awesome. Once we're taking a team picture, you guys. Just finished downloading, start playing now. Let's hope you did a good job, Tim. Yeah. Me and my 2 girls sitting on my lap, can't wait. Sounds like I'd buy that for $1. Played 30 minutes, very happy so far. Thanks to you and the Double Fine team.
Yay!
It's like just any little bit of feedback. Okay, I need some more proof that people are playing it.
Tim, there's Twitch streams.
Well, I don't want to watch that. Well, maybe I do. Oh, man. This is weird. He's going to pick Avalanche. Nope, form body, hull, train, formed body. Oh, Avalanche. That's good. Yeah, good. Avalanche. Oh, now I'm totally have to watch that.
His art style is just awesome.
Jesse brought back a girl.
Well, he just said something really crappy right now.
It's pretty low res
Time
though.
for your old man to become Mr. Smooth.
All right. Looks like that'll be it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and if anyone who is watching is involved in making this in any shape or form, then congratulations. I think this is a winner.
I don't need any.
Score.
I'm gonna sit here forever.
I don't know why I need those yet.
Because she fell through the
I
clouds.
don't know why my character knows that she needs them, because she hasn't heard any...
She's just interested in shoes.
No, that's not true.
And she fell through the
I talked to
clouds.
the other guys and they said that I needed shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I clicked on that dialogue option though.
What are you doing down here? I'm an offering for the Maiden's Feast. Be careful.
She fell through the clouds. Obviously, she knows she needs cloud shoes. You're playing it wrong.
Kind of shabby looking for a Maiden's Feast.